lately. With all the money I've been making off of gambling lately, I don't even need to work. The money wasn't the issue. But here I am once again. Congratulations,
Your
boys. We
time
made
is
it. It's
on.
my time. It's my time. All right,
Yes. Yep.
perfect.
It's rolling.
It's perfect. Well, congratulations to everybody. You get to see the most beautiful face in the world once again. Trey Melton is here, the king, the alpha, the source, the one who gets it done, Mr. Intel. I'm back. And it's time for you to learn a little bit. We have the biggest card of the year ahead of us right here on paper, on the mat. It doesn't matter how you stack it. This card is going to produce all the way to the early prelims up to the main event. Now, there's a lot of lost souls out there like Miller. There's a lot of people getting confused. There's a lot of people getting led astray by none other than the clown himself, Izzy Adesanya, the breakdancer, the phony man, talking like he owns Alex Pereira, talking like he's beat him multiple times. Hey, you've never beat him, Izzy. You've never beat him. You never will beat him. And I got to listen to him talk. I got some quotes from this week from Izzy and his camp that make me sick to my stomach. That lets me know, hey, they're talking themselves up as much as they can. They're trying to get it going as much as they can, get the narrative pushed. It ain't working, buddy. We know what's going to happen. I've told you once, I've told you plenty of times, and I'll say it again. Israel Adesanya will lose this weekend, and he will never be champion again in the UFC, and you can mark my words. No, I was listening earlier. I was listening to Miller talk. I know, trust me, that's the most painful 5 minutes we have to listen to. That's the longest 5 minutes when Miller's talking at the beginning of the stream, all the anticipation, waiting for the source to get on and drop some real knowledge. And I was listening to Miller talk, talking about he might go 4 for 4 this weekend. Talking about he might go 5 for 5 this weekend. Well, history shows Miller has never swept a card in his entire life. Miller's never even went 3 for 3 on a card on his entire life.
That's a lie.
And let me just say, unless Miller is choosing every pick that I say today, then there is a snowball's chance in hell that he goes 4 for 4 this weekend. Now, I will be taking more money for Miller this weekend. We do have a bet on Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya. Me having Alex Pereira, him having Israel Adesanya because, like I said, he's the lost soul. But that's easy. But let's not just talk about that. We also have one of the most, potentially the most explosive fight we've seen in a very, very long time. Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier will be fighting this weekend, and this could top the best first round ever with Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje. It could top it. Now, let me be honest. Dustin Poirier doesn't have a chance, okay? He had his championship fight against McGregor, okay? He had his big Showtime money fight against McGregor. He had his career-defining fight against McGregor. And ever since then, that boy's been on the decline. That boy just looks like he's out of it. They're saying stuff about his wife. He's rattled. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore. I cannot wait for that fight. I honestly think it could be Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler for the best first round ever. I'm not even joking. I think this could be a way more explosive fight. Is it going the distance? Let's be honest. Probably not. So we'll look at the over-unders for the rounds and stuff later on in the show and figure that out. But, hey, we're back again, baby. The best card in the UFC is this weekend. And here I am to make some more money again and to help you make some more money and lead you to the promised land and let you take my hand and walk with me side by side as we make money together. I haven't worked in months. I haven't had to do anything in months because I make so much money off of Miller and all these betting sites. It's so easy. All you have to do is listen to the source, the king, the one who gets it done, Mr. Intel. You're looking at it, baby.
Well, there you have it, guys. I apologize for putting you through that. Once again, another week, episode 23. Will Rider, welcome to the stream. MF Brown, Michael Max says, with gambling money involved, expect the unexpected. Will Rider says, dumbest thing about Mike versus Dustin is if Dustin wins, he got no chance against Islam. Do you think Michael Chandler has a better chance, Will Rider? We'll talk about that shortly. Listen, Trey, let's get right to it. We could jump up and down. But I heard a little bit of your spiel against Poirier and Chandler. Can you go a little bit more in depth on that? I'm going to give you the odds that are given right now. And they are Dustin Poirier a -210, Michael Chandler a +173.
Wow. Hey, get ready your kids' college tuition. You take out another mortgage. Put it on Michael Chandler this weekend. The fact that he's +173 is the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard in my life.
We haven't talked about this fight. Go ahead.
He's came in. Mm-hmm. He's been dominant since he stepped in the UFC. Now, obviously, he lost to Charles Oliveira, and that's okay. He knocked out Dan Hooker awfully. I mean, that was ridiculous. He absolutely destroyed Tony Ferguson, and that was ridiculous. Him and Justin Gaethje have the best first round in UFC history right now. This man's explosive. You want to talk about somebody who's on the incline going against somebody like Dustin Poirier who's on the decline? Dustin Poirier doesn't have it. Now you look at stamina. I'll give that edge to Michael Chandler. You look at hands. I also give that edge to Michael Chandler. You look at wrestling. I give that edge to Michael Chandler. You look at boom potential. That's what I like to talk about. Boom potential. What's the chance something crazy happens in the fight, right? What's the chance something explosive happens? I give that to Michael Chandler.
Listen,
Dustin Poirier is like a Miller these days. He's worn out. He's tired. He's got nothing to live for right now.
Let me tell you something about Dustin Poirier, Trey Melton. Yes, he lost against Oliveira, but Oliveira was at the top of the mountain at that point. Conor McGregor, he beat twice. Dan Hooker, he lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Granted, it was in round number 3. I thought he looked a little bit competitive until the submission. He beat Max Holloway, Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje. All I'm saying is that Michael Chandler looked decent against Justin Gaethje and lost. But you know who has heavier hands than Justin Gaethje, potentially? That's Dustin Poirier.
No.
It's arguable. I will say it's...
Who argues that? It's not arguable.
I would say it's pretty clear Poirier's hands are heavier than Michael Chandler. And Poirier doesn't get hit as cleanly as Justin Gaethje. Yeah, that was one of the best fights of the year. Might be fight of the year, speaking of Gaethje and Michael Chandler. But I'll tell you this. It'll be a good fight with Poirier, but it won't be that much of a back and forth. Poirier will make a miss.
McGregor,
Poirier will land bigger.
Poirier has knocked somebody out.
It's been a while for Poirier the last time that he's knocked someone out.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about a Conor McGregor who looked like he didn't even need to be in there right now. He was so gassed. That's why he lost.
Before Conor McGregor, his last knockout was Eddie Alvarez of 2018, but he demolished Max Holloway in a unanimous decision, 5-round fight. Holloway doesn't get knocked out. He knocked out Conor McGregor in the second round. Fair and square. All I'm saying is that come this weekend, he's going to be looking to put on a big performance. He failed at gaining the title twice. He's trying to get back to the title, Trey. I feel strongly about Poirier getting there. Southpaw fighter, a big lightweight.
It don't matter. He'll never get a title shot again. It's unfortunate he has to fight Michael Chandler because that's worst case scenario for him. That's the most dangerous dude around his ranking right now.
The interesting thing about what you said he'll never get the title shot again. Trey, I'll admit, I don't like it. But did you hear the most recent rumor? The most recent rumor is that Volkanovski is going to get passed up. They don't want to give him to Makhachev. The winner between Poirier and Chandler, you can check all the sources out there. You know, Hispanic Hawani already looked it up. The most likely fight that they make for Islam Makhachev come his next fight is the winner this weekend, Poirier versus Chandler. That's the news that I got.
We'll see how true that is. Unless it's coming from me, I'm probably not going to believe it because you don't know what you're talking about half the time.
Poirier Makhachev is a big fight. Personally, I don't think Poirier really has a chance, so I don't really like it. But who else will you give Islam Makhachev out there besides Volkanovski, Trey? If you could pick any lightweight.
Volk, maybe. God,
I like Dariush. I know you hate Dariush. I like Dariush.
That dude does not deserve a title shot.
He deserves it. He deserves it more than anyone else you can bring up right now in the lightweight division.
No,
Absolutely.
no.
Absolutely.
Can you give me the top 5? You got the list pulled up right there.
Of course I do, man. I'm Hispanic Hawani over here. Lightweight division. Charles Oliveira 1, Poirier 2, Gaethje 3, Dariush number 4, Michael Chandler number 5. Nobody deserves it more than Beneil Dariush.
Honestly, no. What?
Nobody. No. Who deserves it more in the top 5 more than Beneil Dariush?
Beneil Dariush won't fight anybody above him. He's fighting all dudes below him. What do we mean? Why are we rewarding people fighting dudes ranked lower? He's supposed to beat them.
It's not his fault.
Lower than him for a reason. He's supposed to beat them. You understand that?
You know, didn't you have Gamrot beating Dariush or?
And didn't you? Didn't you have Gamrot? Okay, all right. So what are we trying to point out?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. That proves our point that he has been proving us wrong over and over again, and he deserves a title shot. Gamrot was one of those that looked to be contending for the title until Dariush stepped in his way. Dariush deserves it.
Yeah, maybe. Dariush, I need to see him beat a Justin Gaethje or a Michael Chandler or a Dustin Poirier. Like, hey, how about
he's not giving these fights?
Fight Charles Oliveira.
I like that fight. I like that fight.
He probably don't want to take him.
He was gonna fight Makhachev. He got the ankle injury. That's not his art.
Not to mention, I mean, he looks like Ethan from the H3 podcast. Nobody wants to watch this dude. He's a cornball up there.
He does.
I mean, nobody's cheering for this dude in the crowd.
Trey, let me ask you.
Let's be honest.
Let me ask you an important question. Gun to your head right now. If you could pick who Makhachev faces next, and is Poirier or Dariush, who are you picking? Gun to your head. We only asked the tough questions here. I have the answer already. I just figured I'd let you spiel a little bit, give your uneducated opinion, and then I'll help you. I'm sorry.
Bro, between those two, you have to give it to Beneil. And I hate that you have to do that because Poirier's had his shot. But listen.
Okay, so just give me any other name.
He don't deserve it.
Give me another name.
I love that. Well, first of all, I think Charles Oliveira should have a rematch. I think that's ridiculous that he doesn't have a rematch on him.
Granted, it's not Oliveira or Volkanovski.
Right. Volk, I mean, are we serious? This dude's going to get tapped out in the first round. I don't know why they would even do that.
Right. So let's leave him out of the equation.
Scenario. Yeah,
let's leave Oliveira and Volk out of the equation. Who else are you putting ahead of Dariush? You can't think of anybody, Trey, and that's okay.
If Michael Chandler wins, I'm putting Michael Chandler way ahead of him.
I don't like that fight. Listen, I'll be fair. I'm kind of a Michael Chandler hater. I'll be honest. He's a performer, but he's not the top guy.
Bro, he's got heavy hands. He's got stamina. He can wrestle. He's not. Listen, you're telling me you couldn't see Michael Chandler sparking Makhachev? You couldn't see him sparking him?
No.
Bro, what?
I wasn't that impressed with the Justin Gaethje fight. It was just a sock 'em, bop 'em, back and forth kind of fight.
It was the best round in UFC history. What do you mean you weren't that impressed?
That doesn't mean it
first round.
That doesn't mean it was the most competitive.
He won the craziest war we've ever seen in the first round. That's the craziest first round we've ever seen, and he came out on top.
That's fine. He ended up losing the fight. What I'm saying is that, listen, besides Dariush, who are you putting ahead of him? Michael Chandler? Okay, I don't like it, but any other names? Dariush deserves it.
Charles Oliveira for a rematch.
Charles Oliveira, I'll give you that. They might. What I think the UFC should do, honestly, Trey, let me know. I never heard this before. Maybe make Dariush and Oliveira the winner between that fight. Give him the title fight.
Yeah, but I mean, do you honestly think Beneil Dariush is going to beat Charles Oliveira? He doesn't fight anybody up. He always fights down. He's never even fought somebody on Charles's level.
I actually think he could beat Oliveira. I might actually put money on Dariush. I really liked what I saw against Gamrot. And I don't mean to keep beating a dead horse with Dariush.
Look, I told you 50 times, and I'll say it again. Gamrot looked way worse than Beneil looked good. He looked awful.
I 100% disagree. I 100%
awful.
I disagree completely, Trey. Completely. I thought Dariush looked great.
That's why I'm the source. That's why I'm Mr. Intel. That's why I'm the one who gets it done. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you're MillerDC. Okay? So learn something from me. It's
Right.
okay. It's okay to learn. It's okay to have humiliation and learn a little bit.
Okay.
He's
Listen,
never even fought somebody like a Charles Oliveira.
all I'm saying is that Chandler doesn't have a chance. That Beneil Dariush has a better chance than Michael Chandler to beat Makhachev. But this weekend, listen, let's go back to the Poirier and Michael Chandler fight. I feel pretty strongly that Poirier is going to win. And if you are obliged in any fashion to take a bet on that, you name the price. You name the price.
Another 20 on it.
Are you sure?
We'll have 40 on the card right now.
Are you sure?
40 on the card right now. I got Alex, and I got. All right. First of all,
this is not getting too deep on your pockets.
I want to know. I want to know something though. No, my pockets are thick right now. I look like a juicy booty every time I walk around with my wallet in my back pocket.
A little weird.
Now let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Are you gonna actually pay up to your bets?
What do you mean?
Because I don't know.
I sent you your money the day of.
Ago. No. I'm not talking about this money.
Okay.
I'm talking about you owe me a tweet. Calling me the source, calling me the king, calling me the one who gets it done, Mr. Intel.
Oh,
and
I told you.
You told me what?
I told you find where we actually made that bet because I don't recall. If you find
go back and watch the stream, everybody's seen it.
I couldn't find it. If you find the timestamp of when I said that, I have no problem tweeting that. I live up to my bets. I live up to my bets.
Yeah, you live up to your bets, all right. Unless it comes with some humbleness, and then you say, "Oh no, I don't even know what happened. I didn't see that."
I'm just saying, if you find the timestamp, I have no problem. I have Poirier. Now, let's talk about the fashion in which they win, whether it's Chandler or Poirier. I just have it a unanimous decision, clear win. And yeah, Chandler might land some big strikes. Poirier, just a bigger man, fighting out of the southpaw stance. Experience, has fought some veterans in the UFC. I really think he wants to come back and try to go for the title, although I don't think he has a great shot. I have a unanimous decision win for Dustin Poirier. How do you have it playing out? What's the path of victory for Michael Chandler, Trey?
Michael Chandler, second round TKO. Mark my words. He's gonna walk Dustin down. He's gonna get him tired. He's going to bully him up against the fence, and something's gonna happen where he sparks him, and Michael Chandler's gonna jump on top of him, start bullying him, and it's over.
Do you know the last time that Poirier lost by knockout? Do you want to take any guess?
Probably the last time he knocked somebody out. Probably around that time, too, in like 2018, 2017 or something.
No, before that.
2016.
2016 against Michael Johnson. That was the last time he got KO'd round number
got
one.
Knocked out by Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson looks good against good fighters. Then he looks bad against other ones. But Michael Johnson wasn't bad.
Inconsistent.
He is. He is. But that's the last time that Poirier got knocked out. 2016. He doesn't get knocked out, Trey. I feel pretty strongly about this pick.
He don't take any crazy fights either, though. Conor looked bad against him. Charles is not going to knock you out. Poirier bullied him bad.
Poirier hasn't been in a competitive fight as of late. I'll give you that.
He's not ready for a Michael Chandler stamina and pushing the pace. And
it's only a 3-round fight.
Michael Chandler's like a Piotr Jan. That's what I'm saying. And you don't think Michael Chandler's going to be bringing it? Michael Chandler's been fighting 5-round fights pretty much since he came into the UFC. He's about to dog this dude. It's going to be bad.
The last time Poirier went a full 5 was against Dan Hooker. But now we talk about Michael Chandler, round number 2 against Ferguson, round number 3 against Gaethje, 2 against Oliveira. My man hasn't been to the 5th round either, so he hasn't really gone the distance until Justin Gaethje, which was a back and forth and which he lost, Trey. Actually, him winning by decision, now that I look at the numbers, hasn't happened in the UFC. He's either won or lost by KO or submission. Actually, no.
Which makes my prediction look even better.
Justin Gaethje by unanimous decision. Besides that, it's all been knockout or sub. I have it Dustin Poirier by unanimous decision. Trey has it by 2nd round knockout?
Yes, TKO.
Interesting. Let's move on that. I'm going to be proven to be right.
Easy. I'm just gonna see something real fast. I just want to see what the over under is for the fight.
As for let me know about that. I don't have that pulled up. I just have the plus minuses for Dustin Poirier. While you look that up and take your time there, let's quickly go to Carla Esparza versus Zhang Weili, and then we'll talk about Adesanya versus Pereira. Now, Carla Esparza is a plus 300. Zhang Weili is a minus 400. I really think the UFC wants to make a star out of Zhang Weili, although she has been a little bit unfortunate in the octagon as of late. But as far as fighting Carla Esparza, I think Carla Esparza is durable enough where she won't get put out by Zhang Weili, but I have Zhang Weili by decision.
No,
I think
John Weili is gonna finish her. It's gonna be bad. Is anybody giving Carla Esparza a shot? I mean, are we serious? She shouldn't even won the last. Listen, she's a part of the worst fight in UFC history. Are we gonna forget about that? Her and Thug Rose, they did absolutely nothing.
That was bad. That was bad.
Do you think Zhang Weili is gonna go in there and do that? Heck no. She's gonna have her pace. She's gonna pick it up. She's gonna walk her down. She's gonna bully her. It's going to be bad. And then Zhang Weili is gonna get the title again, and she's gonna reign for a while. It's gonna be a long time before she loses. I see her going on a big run.
You think so? You don't think nobody presenting any kind of problem for her?
She is dominant. Now listen, she did get caught one time by Thug Rose when she lost the belt. But listen, I just don't see that happening again. I do not see that happening again. I think it was a fluke thing, just like Leon Edwards against Kamaru Usman. It was a fluke, fake, little phony thing. It'll never happen again.
I love how you sneak those little Leon Edwards Usman thing where I think I might even go Edwards come second fight. You don't think Rose Namajunas just has Zhang Weili's number?
No, I don't.
Zhang Weili beats Carla Esparza this weekend. Do you think they give the Namajunas fight again? What do you think they do?
I mean, I guess. Does anybody want to Does anybody think Thug Rose is gonna win that fight if she fights Zhang again? I don't see her winning that fight. I mean, bro, after Thug Rose's last fight, I don't even want to watch her again.
Is that bad,
That was That was the worst fight in UFC history, and not to mention, it's the worst fight in UFC history. And then she goes into the presser after and acts like she won. Like she actually did something. And then they're in the corner. She's got Trevor Whitman over there lying to her in her ear, talking about, you're up right now. From what? From not doing anything? From standing around? Like, what? That whole situation, listen, I don't know. Is Trevor Whitman falling off also? He had two people just lose the belt. He had two people just lose the belt back to back pretty much in their fights.
And it seemed like not the best advice on the corner either. Telling Rose Namajunas she's up when it's a relatively close fight, although boring. Usman, I can't blame him. I didn't see, he should have just got another takedown. He would have won the fight against Leon Edwards. But
why he was still standing up, I have no idea. That was stupid.
Gaethje hasn't won besides the Michael Chandler fight. Gaethje hasn't looked necessarily the best. I don't think he'll ever.
Trevor Whitman all hype is Kamaru Usman giving him more hype than he should have? I mean, his fighters just aren't doing that great right now.
They're not. Gaethje, the way he lost to Oliveira by sub in round number 1 was his last fight, May 7, 22. Also, another funny thing, Trey, is that they're saying that Gaethje is running from Fiziev. Do you have any thoughts on that? Supposedly, you mentioned the name Fiziev, and he doesn't want to answer.
If he's smart, he's running from him. If he's smart, he's running from him because Fiziev is next up.
Fiziev is a dangerous man.
Fiziev is that guy.
Fiziev is dangerous.
He is a dog. That might be the best striker in the UFC right in there. I'm not even lying about that. Over anybody. He might be the best striker all around in the UFC right now.
I'm surprised you didn't bring him up for contention for the title. If you could pick any fighter, is that because you think the whole ground game thing? Gotcha. Okay.
I think he needs one more. I mean, he's still early. He has a couple good wins, but I need to see something big. I need a big win under his belt. Then we can throw him up there.
He has some nice wins: the Bobby Green, the Riddell, the RDA fight.
Yeah, but we look at Bobby Green now, and it's like,
that's true.
He made RDA freaking question fighting ever again. You know what I'm saying? That was bad.
And I like RDA a lot. That's the crazy thing.
And RDA's a grappler. He gets down on the ground too, and Fiziev looked fine against that. So going on the ground and all that stuff, I don't think I'm too worried about that. I think his takedown defense is good, but bro, Fiziev, 1 or 2 more fights, give him the title shot, and he might win it and have it for a while.
You think he has a good chance against Makhachev? That's what you're telling me right now.
Yes.
Look, Fiziev is dangerous. I mean, Makhachev looks. Whoever picks against Makhachev is just not a smart man. That's why I would never. Makhachev is that dangerous. Beta says it was an entertaining fight.
Wait. Whoa. Don't brush over that. Don't brush over that.
What's that?
Who would pick against Makhachev?
Yeah. He's not. I don't have anybody beating him right now.
You mean you would pick against Islam?
No.
And in fact, you chose Charles the last fight that they just fought. You literally just picked against him.
My heart said Oliveira. My mind said Makhachev. Beta says it was an entertaining fight, but it was a stupid fight plan, and he took at least a year off of his career for that fight. Why trade with Gaethje when he has a wrestling skill to avoid the damage? He wants to be an entertainer first. That's why Michael Chandler's going to lose this weekend. Will Ryder says Dustin will have better 3-round cardio bet. Listen, the chat knows. Women's coaching system is outdated.
There's a bunch of dummies in the chat. I hate to burst your bubbles. A bunch of little little fanboys who have no idea what they're talking about. Want to come here and come at me every single weekend, and I make them look stupid every single weekend.
You've been hot like the last 2.
Do y'all understand that?
You've been hot like the last 2 weeks.
It's been a month now.
It hasn't been that long. Let me put something in the for the chat here. Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler. I would love to hear predictions on that. So I'm putting a poll of that fight. I have Zhang Weili by unanimous decision. Trey says, because I just feel Carla's like, yeah, she could make a fight boring, but she'll find a way to go the distance, but she'll lose. You have a second round knockout, Zhang Weili? Is that what you said?
Second round knockout.
So you have 2 knockouts, Zhang Weili and Chandler.
Belt in the second round.
Wow. Now listen, Trey,
Yep.
I just been dying to get right to this because we could spend easily a half an hour on this.
Oh, this is perfect. Yeah, this is perfect.
You already know.
I got a lot to say about this.
I have a lot to say too. Dan Hooker versus Claudio. No, I'm just kidding. Who do you have for that fight, real quick, before we get to Adesanya Pereira? Everybody knows what we're talking about.
Dan Hooker, but Dan just don't got it no more. I think all his hype was fake. I got Claudio.
He needs to win bad.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening though.
You have Dan Hooker though?
I want to say him, but no, I don't have Dan Hooker.
Oh, you said you have Claudio. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going Dan Hooker, so let's see what happens with that. I have Dan Hooker, you have Claudio. I have Poirier, you have Chandler. I have Frankie Edgar versus Gutierrez. You want to quickly say anything about that before we get to the meat and potatoes? Edgar. I got Frankie Edgar. I think he's gonna go out on a win. Yes.
Frankie, yeah, he's gonna get knocked out again. I mean, I can't believe they're even still letting him fight. Legally, he should not be allowed to fight anymore because he's been getting dogged. So, I feel bad for him, but he might get brain damage after this fight.
He just got caught with a bomb against Chito Vera. I don't think it's gonna happen against Chris Gutierrez. I think he's gonna use that footwork that he has. He's gonna look sharp. Gonna look vintage Frankie Edgar. Gonna get the decision win. That's just me. Now,
well, horrible pick.
Right to the meat and potatoes, Trey. I don't know what made me. I never said that ever. I'm gonna start using that. But anyways, right to the nitty gritty. The moment we've all been waiting for. A short of this fight comes out 8:45 p.m. Stay tuned for that. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Now, this is the only fight that I know your pick. But for those that don't know, Trey, please share your thoughts on Pereira versus Adesanya.
I did some research. I got a couple quotes right here.
Okay.
This is a quote from Israel Adesanya.
Oh, I can't wait to listen. Yeah.
I'm going to read you 2 quotes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One from
Kyle says Adesanya second round knockout. Talk to
one from his coach. Kyle, you're a moron. Stop commenting on this channel, please. Thank you. Israel Adesanya says,
okay,
this is personal. I've said less. He can do all the tennis ball videos, effing hoverboard things he wants. But for me, I'm just like, cool, you do you. He has bragging rights right now, so let him do that. When it's time, I know something he doesn't. Are we serious right now? Is this guy still giving quotes like this? Is this guy still acting like he has a shot against him, like he didn't get knocked out, like he didn't lose 2 times to this guy before? What do we not know? Is it the fact that you can wrestle now? Nope. We've seen you on the ground and it's pitiful. It's awful. It's arguably Johnny Walker ground game awful. Okay? So the fact that he would even say he knows something, listen, Alex Pereira's going to catch him. Now, let me not get too far ahead of myself. Now we have Eugene Behrman, good coach,
All right.
questionable sometimes, but he has some guys under him. He says, I think Alex Pereira will be less intimidated to come forward, which rightfully so because he dogged him. Because he's seen more strikers at such a high level. But that comes with a lot of danger. That's Israel Adesanya's special area. When you come forward and get too aggressive, that's when he makes you pay. And that got me thinking.
Ooh.
Wow.
Look at the
So
in-depth
Izzy must-
analysis by
so-
Trey. Here we go.
So Izzy must have some crazy finishes. Izzy must be dogging cats. Well, we know that's not true. We've seen his last few fights, everybody in the entire world talking about how boring it is, talking about his walkouts more than his actual fights because it's that pitiful. So I'm not sure where that really happens, okay? Not to mention Izzy's last finish. You want to guess who it is?
His
You wanna
last
guess
finish.
who the last person that Izzy finished?
It wasn't
is?
Derek Brunson, was it?
No.
It wasn't Cannonier. It wasn't Whitaker. Who was it?
Paulo Costa.
That
A
was his
dude who
last
looked
finished? What year was that?
September 26th, 2020. Paulo Costa.
That's not
A
that long
dude
ago.
who-
That's not that
A
long ago.
dude who looks absolutely pitiful, barely won against Luke Rockhold. A guy who is sloppy as a fighter, throws loose hands, never stays tight in the pocket, looks pitiful out there. And you're telling me, and Izzy wants to say he has a secret that we don't know about. His coach wants to say that when people get too aggressive, that's where they pay. My boy, he couldn't even finish Yoel Romero.
Listen.
And Yoel didn't do nothing. So the fact that they want to go in there and act like Izzy has the upper hand, Izzy's the one that's going to go in there and wait for him to be and just counter him, yeah, no shot. No shot. And listen, if Izzy's going to win, that's the only way he can win because we know he's not going to push the pace. I mean, we've seen his last 3-4 fights where he does absolutely nothing. They stand around and patty caking there half the time, and they do little dances, and he's in there grabbing his butt, being all weird and stuff, and he's doing all them little funny things. Talk about a showman. Talk about someone who wants to be entertaining but can't actually fight. You talk about Michael Chandler who just want to be entertaining and being a showman, but he can actually go in there and make something happen. He'll do knockouts like Tony Ferguson. He'll do knockouts like Dan Hooker. Israel Adesanya will go in there against dudes like Yoel Romero, who's in Bellator now, and not even be able to get the finish.
That was a long time ago.
Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, Alex Pereira has the heaviest hands. You've seen it in.
I can't wait to respond.
The YouTube short. You've seen it in the reel. I told you he has heavyweight hands. He has hands that make some heavyweight hands look like they don't really throw that hard. That man, I don't know if you've seen him knock out Dustin Jacoby. Drew sent that to us in our group. I don't know if you watched that video. It's bad, Miller. It's going to be bad. He's going to knock out Izzy so bad. And then after Izzy gets knocked out, I don't want to hear a thing from him.
Somebody did to Sean
I don't
Strickland.
want to hear another word from him talking about, oh, well, he got this one, but it's not over yet. It's over. It's over. You're done. You're fried. I don't even think they should give Izzy a rematch if he gets knocked out. It's going
He'll get
to
the rematch.
be bad. And
He'll
I'm
get the
telling you right
rematch.
now, you already know I've said it earlier in the stream. I'll say it again. Alex Pereira will go in and win the title, and Izzy will never be champion ever again.
Trey, you've been pretty consistent at that. And you read your quotes, which, to be fair, didn't really move the needle, much for me. Let me read something to you. I'll put it on the chat real quick, or I mean on the screen. Let me read something to you real quick. Here we go. Right at the bottom here. I was criticized because I'm the champ. I'm the great one, says Adesanya. I'm the one that, and I've talked to everyone about this, even our boy George St. Pierre. We talked in depth about this kind of stuff, and it happened to him. Do you remember when GSP had lackluster performances, Trey? We could talk about that in a second. It happened to Silva. I remember that as well too. Even John Jones, it happened to him. In boxing, it's happened to a lot of greats. When you're just so great and you keep winning, People want to shake the snow globe a little bit, so they just start throwing at and look at what sticks. Trey, let me tell you something, Trey. Let me be quite honest with you. Now, let me jump over real quick before I prove myself. Now let's look at the tail of the tape.
I can already dismantle this argument, but
look at the tail of the tape, which I'm kind of speaking to your favor, They're both 6'4", even though Alex looks a little bit bigger in there because of his stance. He stands tall compared to like a Adesanya. Both 185 pounds. The reach advantage is only a 1-inch reach advantage against Pereira. Honestly, I don't remember the last time Adesanya didn't have like a 4 or 5-inch reach advantage. He's always the taller guy, the lankier guy, the longer guy. It's pretty even here. Now the power factor. It scares me, Trey, because I'm unbiased. It scares me. Pereira, the way he landed that left hook against Sean Strickland and then followed up with a beautiful right hand that landed right on the chin of Strickland and just dazed him. He was out. Yeah. Was impressive.
He was dead.
Was impressive.
He was dead, man.
But you know what I did last Thursday, Trey? It was on my Twitch channel, guys. You could be here every Thursday. We was here last Thursday. And we do it every Thursday where we do some fight analysis. We watch some fights together. I watched Pereira versus Adesanya. I'm sure you have too, but you maybe haven't. Listen, before Adesanya got knocked out, you know who almost got knocked out? Alex Pereira. He was out on his feet, and they even went to a standing 8 count, Trey. That doesn't happen in MMA. If there's 2 minutes and 22 seconds left and you're almost out on your feet, if the ref gets in between you, it's to stop the fight. Luckily for Alex Pereira, he had a standing 8 count. He had time to recoup. Something that Adesanya doesn't do nowadays. He went for the kill. And he kind of got killed himself. I think Adesanya learned so much since then, and he's fought the Whitakers, the Gastelums, the Vittoris, the Brunsons, the Cannoniers. He's been fighting the top of the division. Yes, he hasn't fought a striker like Alex Pereira, but this is MMA.
Not even close to his level.
Pereira is scary.
Yeah, he has fought a guy like Alex Pereira. He's fought Alex Pereira and lost twice. But okay, continue. Or I'll take this time right now. That little whole thing about him being dominant, the champion, and people talking trash. Listen, we've already talked about this, Miller. He's not a Volkanovski. He's not the best point striker in the UFC. He's not one of the best pound-per-pound fighters in the UFC. This dude doesn't do anything. He's barely active. He will tag the leg a little bit. He'll get some body shots. He'll barely throw hands, and he'll have no like real exchanges where they're standing and banging together. But he's never fought, besides the actual guy he's fighting this weekend, a striker.
Adesanya's 2 pound for pound. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and that's hilarious. And that's just because Kamaru lost, and that's because Islam just got up there and all this stuff. Like, come on, that's hilarious. He's fighting nobodies right now.
Whitaker's a nobody.
He's fighting one-trick ponies. He has Robert Whitaker's. Every time Robert Whitaker goes to fight him, he just looks pitiful. Like
the Whitaker Adesanya, the last fight, it did look like Whitaker could have edged that fight. Whitaker, if I would even dare say, Trey, if Adesanya's not the champ, I think Whitaker could actually beat Pereira too. Besides that, maybe nobody out there. But Whitaker is just multi-dimensional. Whitaker is a good fighter. Great fighter. You could even put that label on him. Whitaker is yes. I'm listening.
You want to disrespect Derek Lewis? You want to call him a gatekeeper? And then you're going to have dudes like Robert Whitaker, who's been a gatekeeper for years. For years. He's never going to win the belt. He's never going to get up there. You talk about a real gatekeeper? That boy has a house outside the gate. Right
because
beside
he's fighting someone like Adesanya. Derek Lewis.
He's gonna fight a worse Adesanya, though. You understand that? And Alex Pereira, if he was to fight Alex Pereira, he wouldn't even make it to the final round.
I'm laughing inside because it's funny that you bring Derek Lewis. Let me tell you the difference between Whitaker and Lewis. Lewis is a one-trick pony. Whitaker isn't. He does everything well. And it was arguable that he won that fight against Adesanya. Derek Lewis only does one thing well, and if he doesn't land that big shot, he can't win. Whitaker, on the other hand, if he fights Adesanya again, he might win.
Listen.
If Alex Pereira wins, Whitaker might beat him. if he gets a
Don't
shot.
ever disrespect someone who has the most knockouts in UFC
He's
history.
probably been the most knocked out in
Some of the-
UFC history as well.
No, he hasn't.
He's
And
been
yet,
knocked
no,
out
he
a lot
hasn't.
now, Trey.
The heaviest, bro. Here's the difference. Here's the difference between Derek
Talking about Pavlovich
Lewis
did
and
too?
Robert Whittaker.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Lewis has the bombs in his hands. He's great at striking. Robert Whittaker,
He's not that good.
He's good at everything, I guess.
He's good at everything.
I guess. He gets bullied every time he gets into the big fight, but
and he's a great
good at everything, I
all-around
guess.
fighter.
He's great at being second place. You know,
Listen,
he'll never get over the hill.
we go back to this Adesanya fight. Adesanya, that fight against Pereira, the second fight, he was hurting Pereira. There was a standing 8 count. That happens in the UFC, it's over, Trey. That's all I'm saying. It's over if it was in the UFC. 5-round fight, another fun fact for you, Trey, because I'm sure you don't do your research. He's never fought for that long. He's only fought 5 3-minute rounds at most. He's never been a full 25.
Spoiler alert. He's still not going to go a full 25. You
Listen,
understand that? He don't have to worry about the 5th round.
I think you're wrong. I feel strongly
that's the problem. That's the problem.
That Adesanya is going to get the job done. We look at the odds now. Tell me what you think about the odds. Adesanya is a minus 185. Pereira is a plus 150. Why do you think that is?
When's the last time you seen Adesanya that low in odds?
Never, because he's lost to this opponent before.
Exactly.
In a different sport. Adesanya might even go for a takedown.
They want you to bet Izzy. They're trying to put his number down low enough that you're like, yeah, I'm going to bet Izzy. That way everybody in the sports books can get all the money from all these dummies out here who want to bet Izzy. They have him that low for a reason. They want you to bet Izzy. They're like, oh, only 185? Oh, my gosh, Izzy's the champion. He's second in pound for pound. Yeah, it's over, buddy. Your reign is done. Congratulations. You were dominant for a while. Then your kryptonite came into the UFC. I know he's sick to his stomach right now. I know he's probably devastated right now. But it's done. It's over. He's going to get knocked out. I'll go ahead and say my prediction. Alex Pereira is going to knock out Israel Adesanya bad. I don't even know if it's going to be a TKO. I think it could be a straight up, he's asleep. He's asleep.
Like last time.
It's going to be bad, yeah. And it's going to be in the 3rd round.
A couple messages before I give you my final prediction. I think you're going to be a little bit surprised by this one, Trey. But Horizon says Strickland ain't even a good fighter. He's up there with Brendan Schaub. I can't take this guy serious with sunglasses inside, says Horizon. CKB number 1 and 2 Izzy, says Will. Rob should be pound for pound. What is Trey watching? I'm telling you, this guy doesn't know MMA. Leroy says, what's up? What's up, Leroy?
That's hilarious.
Wilson, welcome to the stream, my guy. Thank you for being here. Hope you and the fam are well. Trey exposing himself with that BS Lewis over Rob Whittaker. I mean, this is what I have to deal with on a week-by-week basis.
You hear all the morons, the little fanboys in the chat saying my name, trying to get read by just mentioning my name. Y'all think I listen to y'all? Y'all think y'all know what y'all are talking about? You guys are idiots. Y'all have to go and work for your money. I sit at the house and collected off UFC cards. Who else is saying that?
After that take, Trey needs to be medicated, someone else says, by the name of Leroy. Kyle says, I think, so maybe someone that agrees with you, Trey. Kyle says, I think Pereira has more chances of shooting for a takedown rather than Izzy. Maybe. He trains with Glover Teixeira. And even if Alex Pereira is on his back, he might not be that bad. Beta, the DC Fight Club member with the gold glove, says Izzy looked great in the first fight and just didn't have a high enough output. It was arguable that he won the first fight. Some people feel that Adesanya got robbed. The second fight, he got caught. That's all that happened. Adesanya is a different beast. And you know what? Let me tell you something else, Trey. Before Pereira got that knockout against Adesanya, he was winded. And that's why, drum roll, Trey, I think my final prediction, and we could talk a bit more about this fight before we close the books.
God, please don't tell me you're about to say what I think you're about to say.
Pereira's gonna get winded. A little back and forth fight. Pereira even lands some bombs. Let me paint this picture for you, Trey. You just sit back and you just enjoy the show. Pereira has a good first.
I might have to hang up after this prediction.
Pereira has a good first round. Lands some big punches. It even looks like he might win a decision if it doesn't go a full 5. He starts off real strong, like he did against Strickland, right? Round 2, Adesanya starts getting those outside leg kicks, chipping away at the legs, nice strong jab down the middle. Pereira maybe landing something big. Adesanya takes round 2. We have it 1-1 going into the third. But this is where Pereira gets a little tired, Trey. Adesanya keeps tagging him and tagging him. Convincing third round for Adesanya. We go to round number 4. Close round, but again, Adesanya wins it. We get to round number 5, and Pereira just doesn't have the conditioning for a 5-round fight. For a 5-round fight. 22, 23 minutes in, I don't know when the straw will break the camel's back, but it will be broken. Adesanya sees a chance to put him out, and he does. And he wins by 5th round TKO, UFC 281. He finally has the performance that he needed after being criticized for not being an exciting fighter, but he pulls it off at UFC 281. Bookmark this, guys. Take this to the bank, because come Saturday, UFC 281, I will be proven right. Adesanya, 5th round knockout. He's going to have the big bloody lip like he did against Gastelum, a little knot under his eye. He's going to look like a complete warrior. All these things about him not being a warrior and being a boring fighter, and he just runs away, erased, expunged. 5th round TKO victory for Adesanya.
First of all, I don't think I've ever met someone who loves 5th round finishes more than you. You love predicting a 5th round finish. I don't know why, but it's a offer prediction, but whatever. Anyways.
That conditioning.
Listen.
Battle of attrition.
Izzy don't have it in him. He's not finishing dudes like Yoel Romero, you think Yoel Romero has great stamina? You think he's great? You think Derek Brunson has the best stamina?
He had the swollen lip against Gastelum.
Yeah, and Gastelum was tagging him. Here's the other thing. If Alex Pereira comes out and starts dogging him and starts landing shots like he can, there ain't no, he dominated that first round. Is he still there? If he lands, you've seen what he did with bigger gloves. But if he lands with the UFC gloves, it is going to be bad. And I'm telling you right now, Izzy will break. Izzy will give up very quickly. He will give up very, very quickly. He's not going to sit in there and take a beating. I'm telling you, Miller, it is going to be bad. I don't. If I didn't say the 3rd round, I really think it's going to be the 1st round that he could get sparked and finish him early.
You think he could end that early?
It's Miller. He's got the heaviest hands in the freaking UFC right now. This dude is a dog. Literally, if he lands, good night. We've seen what he did against Sean Strickland, and Sean Strickland has a chin on him.
He does.
He doesn't have no weak chin.
He does.
He dogged Sean Strickland. Bad, like literally baptized that man.
I hear you, Trey.
And you're telling me Izzy has a better chin than Sean Strickland? Well, I haven't seen that, because nobody fights when they go in there against Izzy. They just stand there and jump around with each other and just burn their energy, burn some calories doing this right here. You know what I'm saying? They look like a freaking Tekken freaking game, Mortal Kombat, where right before they fight, they're just standing there bouncing back and forth. That's what half his fights are. Alex Pereira is not going to do that. He's got the knees. He's got everything that Izzy has in his bag, but it's a little bit better. He's got more strength, heavier hands. I mean, I don't necessarily think Izzy's cardio is that good, to be honest. If I'm really thinking about it, I don't think his cardio is that crazy. I mean, he never pushes the pace. He never goes after it. He stands there and bounces around with the dudes too. So I don't see him going out there and getting after it either.
He knows how to pace himself. He's a 5-round championship fighter.
He looks gassed sometimes, bad.
Does look a little gassed sometimes.
Here's what I do think. I think Alex Pereira will grapple with him a little more. I think he'll try to come in on him, get him up against the fence, work the knees to the body, get some uppercuts going into the body. I see it being a dominant fight. Izzy might win 1 round, maybe, but he's gonna get finished.
Final prediction?
It's gonna be bad. He's gonna get knocked out in the 3rd round. He might get knocked out unconscious. I'm not even calling a TKO. He might get knocked out unconscious, and Israel Adesanya will never be champion again in the UFC.
You've been consistent in saying that. Let me just read a couple messages to you real quick. Wilson says, Miller, you're absolutely correct. Unfortunately, he looked terrible until he got that Hail Mary, says Beta. And I agree with you. We saw that fight live together. Miller Dama says, Leroy, what makes more money? Izzy lost, says Michael Mack, which makes it interesting. If that is true. The same way the welterweight division was stagnant until Leon won, we might have a situation like that in our hands. And Trey, I'll admit, if I'm wrong, I would be happy to be wrong, because imagine Pereira being the champion of the UFC.
We don't have to watch any more boring fights. How about that? How crazy is that?
The stigma that he has boring fights is true. A lot of people have said, I'm never gonna order a Izzy fight again. That's a bad look for a champion. I'll admit I'll admit that to you.
They're talking about his that's not a joke. That's not just me saying that being funny over here. They talk about his walkouts more than his actual fight.
You have said that before as well too.
That is bad.
Horizon says, I can't believe you got Roy Nelson. I think he's talking about you, Trey. Cole says,
Big Country was a legend. You watch your daggone mouth, you dummy.
Cole says, Izzy has nothing to prove. The pressure is fully on Alex. When he loses, his path to glory is diminished. Cole, I'll disagree with you there. I think Izzy has a lot of weight on his shoulders. Alex already beat him, and Izzy, with the stigma of having boring fights, I think he does feel a lot of pressure. I truly do think that. I think he might not show it, but he does feel the pressure of the world and really wanting to prove to the world that he could put on a good performance.
Of course he feels the pressure. Look at all these sound bites he's given, going on all these shows saying stuff like, oh yeah, he's got it, but I'm going to do it. I know something he doesn't know. Man, no, you don't. We've seen the fights. You don't know nothing. You look boring in every fight you're in. It looks like he just doesn't have it anymore. He's fighting dudes that are honestly not even in his tier. Izzy's not a bad fighter. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter, but he's not fighting dudes that are going to ever win the belt. Nobody thinks Jared Cannonier is going to win the belt. Nobody thinks Derek Brunson is going to go in and win the belt. Did anybody give Yoel Romero a shot? I bet Izzy was a minus 1,000 favorite against Yoel Romero. I mean, finally, there's an actual fighter who can come in here and dominate him and is a better striker, heavier hands, just as good as cardio. I'll go out on a limb and say that. Has beat him before. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is ridiculous.
If I remember correctly, Romero wasn't that big of an underdog because a lot of people felt his power was going to get to Adesanya. And then once he beat Romero, then he started like lapping the division, beating Costa, Brunson, Cannonier, and all those guys. But I do, if I remember correctly, against Romero.
Listen to the guys.
They're not strikers like Pereira. I'll give you that.
None of them are like that.
Trey, you have a good point.
Even close. I know I do.
You have a good.
This is why I've been so hot, because I know what I'm talking about. Y'all trying to get the little hot takes and be right and be cute and stuff. I'm telling y'all what it really is.
It might even end round 3 for Pereira, like you said. It's very likely. It's very likely.
What did I say on UFC 280? I said Charles Oliveira has never fought somebody who has just as good as hands as him, just as good on the ground, is stronger than him.
I don't know if you said all that. I don't know if you said all that.
I said when he knocks him down, Islam is not going to say, hey, get up and do the old Bruce Lee or whatever.
You did say
he's going to get on top of him and dog him. And sure enough, Charles Oliveira got knocked down. And what happened? Islam jumped right on him and finished the fight quickly.
Got the head and arm choke. I was impressed. I'm never betting against Islam again. That was foolish, to say the least.
Of course it was.
I was betting with this.
Learning a little bit.
I was betting with this. Usually I bet with this, and that's when I'm right. I was betting with this. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Oliveira to win.
You ain't bet with this in a while, then, I guess.
It's been like a week. It's not about chin endurance. It's about brain power. Sniper wins. Izzy wins, says Cole. Beta says Izzy took some of his hooks in the first fight and stayed standing. This is true. He took some good punches against Pereira. They were 8-ounce gloves, though.
They were heavier. Yeah, exactly.
These 4-ounce gloves do scare me a little bit. I'm gonna be all the way honest. The 4-ounce glove scares me a little bit. 20 minutes of their experience in the ring. Miller, Izzy too elusive at this point. I agree with you, Wilson. Izzy is a different fighter. Drew in the building. Drew, please let us know your prediction. You can call in that day. Please let us know who you have between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. Wedgies, welcome to the stream. You let us know as well, too. Everyone calling Izzy boring, says Will Ryder, are too to understand his fighting style, says Will Ryder. My man Drew in the building. Beta says, Drew. Will Ryder says, I don't know how we could have known Islam striking was that good, to be honest. He made improvements. He didn't have that speed previously, in my opinion, or that power. He touched Oliveira once and hurt him. Will Ryder. All right. Last and final thoughts with Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya. You heard it here first. Alex is going to win that first round. Adesanya is going to win the second round. Close third round. Adesanya starts pulling away at round number 4, round number 5. Trey, he gets the job done. I feel strongly about that. He gets the job done. And that whole stigma is off of him. Trey, any last thoughts that you want to say about your Pereira round 3 knockout? If you want to paint the picture, please do.
I feel bad for you. You know,
Right.
you have so many opportunities on the stream to look smart. You have so many opportunities on the stream to look wise, to seem like you know what you're talking about. And yet you always just take that opportunity, crumble it up, and throw it on the ground in the dirt and ruin it. The
I've been
fact
right
that
most
you
of
think
the time.
one of the most boring fighters in the UFC is going to
this is
go
gonna
in
age so
there
good for me.
and beat one of the most dominant,
I'm gonna clip this part right
heavy-handed,
here.
scary
Can't wait.
new fighters that we have seen is laughable. He's going to walk in there. Hey, there's a warrior coming in that ring Saturday night, and his name's Alex Pereira. He's a real dog. He might even pull his son up there again and let him make fun of Izzy again and getting knocked out. I'm telling you right now, Alex Pereira will have a vicious knockout. Vicious knockout in the third round. We may never see Izzy the same, but it don't matter, because after Izzy gets knocked out, his whole life is going to flash before his eyes. He's going to have a come to Jesus moment and realize, oh my gosh, everything they've said about me is true. He will never win the title again. It will mess with him forever, because his kryptonite is in the UFC, and his name is Alex Pereira, and he will dog Izzy. I can promise you that. Do not let him land, because when Alex Pereira lands, it is good night. Good night. Sweet dreams. Izzy might not even wake up the same night. They may have to stretcher him out. It's going to be bad, and I can promise you that. Take out a mortgage. Take out your children's college tuitions. Put yourself in a financial situation where if you lose it, you're done for life. You just really mess up your life, and put it all on Alex Pereira, because your life will be changing. You'll be getting the most money you've ever made in your life on a bet. You won't have to work for months like me.
Plus 150 for Alex Pereira.
Yeah. I love that bet.
Minus 185 for Adesanya.
Slim it. Exactly. And what I'm telling you right now is Vegas wants you to be like, oh my God, this is the lowest we've ever seen Izzy. We can actually bet him now. We can actually put money on him now. They want you to put money on him. That's why the line's so low. They want you to put money on him. I'm going to be very interested to watch this line throughout the week and see how it moves.
Me too.
See if it moves in Izzy's favor. See if it moves in Alex's favor. I expect it to move in Alex's favor. But I can promise you right now, it's going to be bad. I will be on the winning side. I'll take another 20 from Michael Chandler. I'll take another 20 from Miller for Izzy.
I feel strongly about that.
And he better be giving me my tweet after this card, after I bully him again and let him know what it really is, and show him, hey, I'm on top. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel.
Trey, someone that agrees with you. Look, Andrew Wheat says, I'm still torn. I don't know yet. I'll have a decision for you by Saturday. But he says, I'm really leaning early knockout for Pereira. But I don't know yet, though. Well, Drew, let me tell you this. That whole leaning thing, you might as well lean to the other side, because Adesanya's going to get the job done. Drew has Chandler as well, too. It's just disgusting at this point where Drew, just a week ago, he was hot, and he's going to throw it all away if he goes Pereira and Chandler. Right. He's going to throw it all away. Alex definitely does look like a rainforest warrior, says Will. They're both beasts of the fight. Listen, Pereira at 185, I'm not going to lie, he looks scary. You ever seen the picture of him and Dominic Reyes, Trey?
Yeah, he makes Dominic look tiny, don't he?
And he's a weight class above him. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you saw what happened with Jan Blachowicz and Adesanya.
Hey, you want to talk about somebody who can be a two belt champion. You want to talk about somebody who can be a 2-belt champion. He could. I bet he could even go up to heavyweight and be dominant. That's how crazy this guy is. This dude's a dog.
He's a
That's what I'm trying to tell
big
you. This is the
185
scariest dude.
pounder.
This is the scariest fighter the UFC has brought in a long time.
Hamza.
Yeah, but we've seen that he's beatable.
He looked
We've seen
human
that
against Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert Burns made him look kind of mid, kind of
He
not
did.
that good.
He did. Rumors of Colby Covington and Hamza. I think I'm picking Colby Covington. That's just me.
Of course you are, because Colby's a dog. Thank you for finally seeing the light.
Michael Mack says Alex knows, Trey knows, Vegas knows. Listen, Vegas might. I don't know. They might have something here with Alex Pereira. Really, Miller, I got Chandler. We might have to bet that I might have to take some of your money. I'm crying. I'm not officially saying Pereira, but I'm saying officially Chandler. Well, that's still a dumb prediction, Drew, so that's okay. I might take some money for you. Trey better stop. He not seeing my boy JR or Hiri. I think Glover beats Hiri on that rematch. Maybe he had it right until the end. Also, when Reyes was talking about him, it was like he was talking about someone better. Says Will Ryder. Listen, all right, guys, we're about to close the books on this trade.
Let me. Can I just say this real fast?
You can say whatever you want, Trey, because it's gonna probably be wrong. So yes, please, because I will clip all this.
All right, shut up. I can't wait to see Dominic Reyes fight this weekend, because guess who he's fighting? The biggest bum in the freaking world that y'all like to mention all the time that people get wins over. Bummy boy Ryan Spann. And he's going to dog that man.
I think Spann wins.
Of course you do, because you slurp Spann. I don't know why. This dude is not a good fighter. He's a bum, and people want to slurp him all the time. This dude sucks. Dominic Reyes is going to go in there and dominate him. I can't wait. I hope he absolutely bullies Ryan Spann. I'm so sick of hearing that name when y'all mention people that have beat him. I don't want to hear about Ryan Spann ever again after this fight.
I don't know if you ever watched the fight. Did you see what Blachowicz did to Dominic Reyes? Did you see what Hiri Prohaska did to Reyes?
Yeah, that was one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen.
And then, how do you look so good against John Jones and then all that happens? I don't know. Ryan Spann is going to do him dirty, Trey. If you want to throw a measly 10 on that, and potentially lose 50 on one day, then by all means.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There you have it.
Please keep track of this. I don't want you to be getting confused and all that after this. I want you to really look at me in my eye and send me that 50 this weekend.
This is gonna, Trey, listen, if you have to go to a pawn shop to get rid of stuff, for all that, just get me the money when you can, because you might not have it all this weekend, and that's okay, Trey. And I'm sorry I'm doing this because I consider you a friend. All this, I feel bad. I feel like I'm feeding into your. Bad.
You know, I could pay you the $50 this weekend and still be up on you in total. So don't feel bad about it. I need to give you some money back. I feel bad for you. You're looking a little thin. You look like you haven't been able to eat as much as you usually do because I've been taking so much money from you.
I mean this wholeheartedly. I'm up on you with betting, like significantly. Like I think like 60, 70. I almost have to pull the records and see who the transactions, but there's been a lot more green on my end than red going to you. I'm serious, Trey. I mean that.
You're hilarious.
I would almost bet on that right now, but that's just a fool. Like
so
I don't want to do that right now.
That's so funny to me. That's hilarious.
And you agree with Will Ryder. He says, I'm picking Reyes, but not confident. LO Spann has crispy chicken hands. Can't count that out ever. I have Ryan Spann winning, and it's going to be the easiest $50 I've ever won. Me and Miller are tied with bets. We are. And
y'all barely bet.
And I started off like I don't know, like the other guy from Jamaica and Bolt. Like I just zoomed past Drew in the beginning, but he's called me in the last 20 or 30 meters, and now we're tied. I was up on Drew like, I don't know, 60, 80, 200. I don't know. He has caught up. Cheers, boys. Great show. See you soon. Jen says, Cole, be here this Saturday, Cole. Pick all the CKB boys. I mean, listen. Israel's going to get it done. I feel strongly about that. I can't remember the whole picture that I painted, Trey, the first round, the second round, the third round. I finally got to the end, 5th round TKO. I can't wait till that comes to life. Any last thoughts before we get out of here? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, newsflash. You're not Bob Ross, so anything you paint it doesn't look that good to me, honestly. It looks like some abstract painting that nobody understands, and everybody's like, what the heck is this? This is art. That's what you just painted.
It's gonna be a beautiful abstract like Claude Monet. You can look him up if you want to some other time. Trey, any last thoughts on UFC 281? Anything you want to say about the preliminary cards, the main cards, the early prelims? Anything you want to get off your chest where you could be proven wrong once again before we get out of here?
It might be. I'm changing the subject. Kind of. This isn't really about UFC 281, but we
Okay.
did talk about this. I did mention this before, where I would like to see Sean O'Malley and Marlon Vera fight again because I told y'all Sean O'Malley
Interesting
would win
topic.
if they fought again. I have a quote from Sean O'Malley.
Talk
saying,
to us.
"Why not have a little interim belt, and then the winner of the interim belt will fight Aljo when he's ready."
I saw that. I saw that a little bit ago.
Sean O'Malley quoting that. Sean O'Malley won that shot again. I can see that happening. And let me tell you right now, if Sean O'Malley gets back in the ring with Marlon Vera, he is going to absolutely dog him. He will not get hit in the leg like that again. He will not get down like that again. And the biggest fluke hit in the leg in history. It's not happening again, bud.
Sean O'Malley just got stem cells
that fight until that happened.
on his knee. Did you hear about that? He just came out with a podcast like yesterday.
I'm sure people do that all the time.
No, they do. Like Joe Rogan recommends it. He didn't have that bad of a knee. You know why I think he got that? Why I think he got stem cells? You know why? I think Cheeto just dogged that leg so bad.
No.
He made him fold like a blanket. It was bad. And I think Cheeto has one of the best defensive guards in the UFC right now. Kind of like Petr Yan-esque, hands held high, walks forward. But he also has a reach and the length to disrupt Sean O'Malley. Unlike Yan did, even though Yan won, but unlike Yan did perfectly. I think Cheeto wins that second fight. And let me say one more thing too. I think he's calling out Cheeto Vera, and then I think Sterling is saying he doesn't want Cejudo. Everybody's just scared of Cejudo. Let's just be quite honest, Trey.
Well,
Sean O'Malley doesn't want to fight him.
You're talking about arguably the most decorated fighter in UFC history.
Of course.
You're talking about a champ. You're talking about a Olympus. Like, I mean, this guy has accolades.
He has accolades.
He's really. I can't stand him. He's the biggest cornball. He's not a good coach. I hate when people give him credit because I know he's not doing anything back there. He's just standing around and he can't make it his face known so he can stay relevant and still stay relevant in the UFC. And people will talk about him. But I agree. Nobody wants to see Triple C. If Triple C was to come back, he would dog Aljo. He would whoop him. And then I don't see.
Thank you, Wilson.
I don't think Sean O'Malley would beat him. Maybe if he sparked him, possibly. But
it's a tough fight for Sean O'Malley.
Triple C ever been knocked out? I don't think he has. So.
Yes, he has, and I forget against who.
A very long time ago, if he has.
Was a very long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very long time ago. What's it called? KO, but Demetrius Johnson, round number 1. I saw this replayed not that long ago. You're talking about
Mighty Mouse, though. You're talking about
one of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest to ever do it. Him, John Jones, Henry Cejudo, they're all up there. Cheeto Vera beat Sean O'Malley. I feel strongly about that. I will bet you that if that fight ever does get made, I feel Cheeto just is getting better and better, and the more time that you give him, the better he's gonna get. And he doesn't really take punishment like that either. Oh, yo, the guy that's been chasing, this guy Luth fan says, Andrew Week, hey, quick prediction, Makhachev versus Alex Volkanovski, who wins? Well, Luth, if you haven't heard, that fight most likely isn't gonna happen. Let Cheeto beat Aljo, then have Blazer belt battle. That'll be great. Imagine that. Now, I think that fight presents more troubles for Cheeto than the Sean O'Malley fight, personally, for me. I think Aljo is more of a threat to Cheeto than Sean O'Malley. I think Cheeto has what it takes to beat Sean O'Malley, especially in a 5-round fight. If you make it a 3-round fight, then yes, Sean O'Malley has a very good chance. I hope they don't do that. I hope they main event it 5-round fight, but that's bad news for Sean O'Malley.
If they main event it, it's gonna have to be on a fight night, and I just don't see Sean O'Malley going into a fight night.
They're gonna want to protect.
He's too big of a name.
They're going to want to protect Sean O'Malley and make it a 3-round fight, because if it's a 5-round fight, that favors Cheeto Vera. Granted, Yan beat Sean O'Malley. I rewatched it. We saw that live on Twitch. We're going to do another one Thursday. I don't know who we watched Thursday, guys. You guys can give me some suggestions, but Yan won that fight 2-1 clear. I had my doubts. I said, you know what? Maybe people are all right. Maybe Sean O'Malley won. I disagree. And I'm sorry, because I know, Trey, you're feeling under the weather, and then I just keep beating you over the head with facts about the UFC and stats and things of that nature. So I'm sorry. I know you're under the weather. I'm sorry for keeping you this long, Trey. Cheeto beats Sean O'Malley, though.
No, he doesn't. No shot. Sean O'Malley was winning that fight before he had that fluke leg injury. It will never happen again. Sean O'Malley would go in there and dominate him. And I'm not even that's like the most comfortable I've ever been saying that about Sean O'Malley dominating a big competitor. Jan, I was a little nervous. Jan, I was a little nervous because he has the hands, he does have the defense, he does have the pressure. Sean O'Malley showed, hey, it don't matter. I can go in there. He won the first round. Hey, take me down. You're not going to do anything with it. I'm going to have perfect defense. I'm going to get back up every time you take me down. Congrats on your ground control. How about you do something with it next time? You don't just get to hold people and win fights. That's not how it works.
He landed the more significant shots in round number 3. If you watch that fight, besides the knee, Jan actually landed the bigger shots. Hurt Sean O'Malley a few times, and people forget that every time Sean O'Malley was landing a jab.
Sean O'Malley hurt Jan a few times. What do you mean?
Sean O'Malley hurt him once with a left straight down the pike. Anytime Sean O'Malley just kind of threw that jab out there, the Daniel Cormier was going crazy as if, you know, he invented something special since sliced bread. It was horrible. The commentating was biased. Jan was winning. He got the takedowns. He got a big takedown in round 1, which you could probably say is 3-0 Jan, if not clearly 2-1. But the bigger strikes was Jan.
That's so disrespectful.
We covered that fight. Now, listen, Sean O'Malley proved to me that he's here to stay. He's better than what I thought he was, and he made me a fan, Trey. I'll admit. He made me a fan.
But I don't know why you want to hate on Sean O'Malley. Like, he's not the future. Like, he's the next star. Like, he's not the next star. You'd love to hate on that man.
He just didn't beat anyone before Jan, and then the Moutinho fight, it was just like me against you. It would just be me exemplifying.
Well, true, you do look like Chris Moutinho, so I would say that.
It would be exhibiting my striking prowess if me and you were to fight. But Moutinho didn't really fight back. Against Jan, he lost, but he showed durability, and I got to give credit to that. And the reason why I wasn't a fan of Sean O'Malley also as well, too, is because that loss against Marlon Vera, he kind of wanted to say it was a fluke loss, but it wasn't. He lost fair and square. That's just me throwing a bunch at you. I'm sorry.
Listen. Be happy that I am feeling under the weather and I don't have the energy to go really hard today. I'm sorry if my energy is down. I'm trying to keep it up and still push through this. But be happy because I would absolutely. We'll talk next week. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about this next week. I'll be feeling better and I'll let you know how I really feel about all this. I'll be able to really give it to you then.
I'm not gonna lie, Trey. If you hit again, that's like 3 weeks in a row. I'm gonna be a little sad.
I'm good.
Because you've been a little hot. You've been a little hot.
If is not the question. When I hit again, then what?
You've been a little hot.
Then you give me my flowers.
You've been a little hot.
Of course I've been hot. I know what I'm talking about. I'm the best capper in the UFC. I'm the best one to ever do this. Of course I've been hot. Nobody does it better than me. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. You understand that?
Beta says. I don't
just say that to be funny.
Beta says 6 takedowns mean nothing, Trey? Question mark.
When you don't do nothing with them, yes. Yes, it does. When you go and hug him the whole time, yes, it does.
The hardest question for all of you: 1, Makhachev versus Khabib, who wins? Makhachev versus Usman, who wins? Makhachev versus Usman right now, maybe Makhachev if he goes up. Makhachev versus Khabib in their primes, Khabib because it'll be a grappling match and Khabib will win that. Me personally is what I would think.
Yeah, Khabib.
Thank you, Drew. Yep, what's up?
I think I like Usman to beat Makhachev just because he's so strong, and I don't see him taking him down and stuff.
Nah, nobody beats Makhachev right now. Nobody beats Makhachev right now. I'm a believer. Cheeto tricks people. I love stories. He lets people get false confidence and pulls out some tactical BS and lands a bomb, Whale. And he's only getting better. I had a 3-0 even after rewatching. You rewatched it too, Drew. I wish you were here watching it with me and Beta that Thursday, but it was clear to me. I was starting to get swayed by the trays and the O'Malley stands. Oh, you know, Sean O'Malley won. He was landing the bigger strikes. Jan didn't do nothing with the takedowns. When you really rewatch it, it's a clear win. It's a clear win.
He clearly didn't do nothing with the takedowns. Sean O'Malley was out there being Tony Ferguson, spinning off the takedowns and stuff. It was bad.
He might even leave, Trey. He might even leave and go to like Bellator or something because he's just been done so dirty. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, maybe he can win a fight over there. That'd be cool.
Sean O'Malley is an industry plant, says Horizon. Always been a fan of Sean's, but lost respect after last fight, to be honest. All the cage grabs. I don't know if you guys saw MMA Guru's video or Mexican martial arts talked about it a little bit. God, Sean O'Malley was cheating his life away. He literally grabbed the cage, pushed off in order to get away from a clinch. It was absolutely insane. Insane.
That's hilarious.
The ref didn't do anything about it. It was bad. It was really bad. He used cage grabs to get out of unfavorable positions, Trey. He should be ashamed of himself for doing that.
Well, it looks like he's the number one competitor, number one contender right now. So I don't think he could care less what you say right now. So he won. Y'all can hate. If you don't want it to be a decision, if you don't want to be able to choose it, Dana says it best. Don't let the judges decide.
I don't think Hamza beats Makhachev either, Drew. Beta says this to you, Trey. Who do you think is right about Jan's win, Trey or Khabib? I mean, listen, all the smart guys, Khabib, myself included, Andrew, we all said Petr Yan won. The only one that believes Sean O'Malley won in here is Trey. And the man thought Derek Lewis was good. You know, like I'm sorry to bring up old stuff.
He has the most knockouts in UFC history. You want to talk about being good? God. The man's creating a legacy that'll outlive him. I don't even know who's going to catch up with him on the knockout. So I don't even want to hear that about Derek Lewis. Y'all better watch y'all's mouth. Seriously.
Fazeev is dangerous. Trey, if I got $1 for every time you said Derek Lewis has the most knockouts in UFC history, I would be rich. Sean should fight Sandhagen for the interim. The funny thing about that fight, I think Sean O'Malley beats Corey Sandhagen. You want to say anything about that, Trey, real quick? I know I'm keeping you, but we're gonna let you go to bed. Sean O'Malley beats
Corey Sandhagen. I think so too. I think Corey's a good fighter, but he just don't have the power. I mean, he's a good point striker, but that doesn't win you fights all the time. You got to land big shots. You got to make the crowd. Listen, there is an entertainment aspect to it. You got to make people say, "Whoa," or you know what I'm saying, like, "Oh my gosh," or whatever. If you don't have that factor in your game, then you better dominate in point striking because it's not going to be interesting and people aren't going to be like, oh yeah, he definitely won that fight.
No, I agree. Sean O'Malley has that deciding factor, and that is that power.
Wow factor.
The wow factor, yeah. And when he lands, he hurt Jan. Don't get me wrong, he hurt Jan. He just didn't win the fight. And I don't think I've seen Jan hurt like that. I think Jan respects him as a fighter now, maybe too. I haven't heard him say anything. He was upset that he lost. Are you surprised Makhachev beat Charles? No, I mean, he's just a future right now. Do you think Cejudo should come back?
You better answer that truthfully, Miller.
Do you think Cejudo should come back and fight with Aljo, and who can beat Aljo with his wrestling and grappling? I think Cejudo should fight Aljo. I think Aljo's ducking him. It's weird. It's weird.
Aljo's a punk, bro. I can't stand that. That's the biggest cornball in the freaking UFC. Funkmaster Gay boy. I can't stand that dude. He's a lame.
Drew says, if I win the Powerball tonight, all three of us are cage side every pay-per-view. I'll take you up on that offer, Drew. I hope you win. I'd pick Sugar as well versus Sandman.
And then Aljo wants to come out and talk about, oh, I'm like a champion. You know what I'm saying? Champions usually only fight 1 or 2 times a year.
I think he's ducking Cejudo, Trey.
Bro, he's scared. That boy's soft.
When he talks about Cejudo, he looks a little timid.
Aljo knows every time he walks out to that ring that he shouldn't have the belt. He has a huge chance of losing he's not as good as fighters everybody makes him out to be. He's good on the ground. Congratulations. If he gets your back, it's over. Don't give up your back, and he looks like a whole different fighter. I mean, we've seen Jan have him absolutely rattled and hit, and then he sells it and acts like it's the worst thing that ever happened to him. He barely got hit with that knee. I mean, I can't stand this dude.
Stop it, Trey. He got hit pretty cleanly.
He barely got hit with the knee. I mean, he was big.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Give me a break, dude. If you're really hurt, you're not over there talking that much. I can promise you that.
He got caught pretty cleanly, Trey. Let's be a little honest.
I can't see. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's bad.
It's crazy that if that knee doesn't happen, Trey, Petr Yan is champ. Maybe Sean O'Malley is champ now, fighting after beating Petr Yan. But that one knee changed the course of history for the bantamweight division. It's crazy,
for the worst.
How that played out. Things are still pretty exciting.
Aljo. He's the biggest scoring ball in the UFC, hands down. Nobody even comes close to him. Besides, I guess Francis a little bit, but yeah, I can't stand that man.
He just said he deserves 6 months off. Says Will. Aljo is just team backpack. LOL. Listen, I think he's ducking a little bit. I'll be quite honest.
He's ducking He don't want to fight anybody. He's ducking everybody. He knows every time he walks out to the ring, it's a huge chance he's losing that belt. He knows he shouldn't have that belt. He didn't rightfully get it to begin with. Listen, he's a herb, dude. I can't stand this guy.
Adesanya knockout, Zhang decision. Poirier decision. Frankie Edgar decision. Dan Hooker decision. You heard it here. You heard it here first.
I got Claudio decision. I got Gutierrez finish. I don't know what round. I don't really want to call it. I got him finishing Frankie Edgar though. And that's soft boy chin. Oh, frog chin. I mean, we're gonna remember this. I got Zhang Weili, second round knockout. I got Michael Chandler, second round knockout. I got Alex Pereira, third round knockout.
Okay,
enjoy this card. It's the best card on paper, and it's going to be a great night Saturday night with all these knockouts. It's going to be beautiful to watch.
I mean, if it plays out the way that you just said, that does make it really exciting. I'll say that. It's not, but it does make it pretty exciting if it plays out the way that you suggested. But Trey, I'm gonna hit this like Bryce Harper hits a fastball. I don't know if you follow baseball. The Phillies lost. I'm a little depressed. But I'm just saying.
Take that hat off, by the way.
I'm gonna rep him till death. Hangman by KO. That sounds a little bit like extreme. Over KO. Brad TKO. Izzy KO. Listen, Izzy's gonna get the KO in round number 5. It's gonna be, people are gonna be back on the Adesanya train. I'm telling you. Any last thoughts, Trey, before we get out of here? We've been live longer than we usually do.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Honestly, I feel awful.
Hope you feel better. Yeah.
I got the freaking sweats right now. I don't know what happened. Got some congestion and freaking throat stuff going on, but it is what it is. I grind. I shine. I come whether I'm sick, whether I'm half dead. It don't matter. I come and produce for the people. It doesn't matter if I'm in a different state. I get an early flight because I have so much money went off these UFC bets from the sports book, from Miller, taking all his money, that it's easy for me to fly. I don't even have to work anymore. It's beautiful. I haven't worked in months. I just make so much money off of this because I'm the best capper in the UFC. I really know what I'm talking about. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one who gets it done.
Thank you for having a Jordan Flu game.
I'm out of here, baby. Hey, support 2A. You know what it is, baby. Go out and vote tomorrow.
There you have it, guys. Trey, thank you for hearing me out there, for taking out time, especially being sick, and doing episode 23. We're 23 episodes in the books. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. #1 commentary channel on YouTube. We're going to have a Thursday stream on Twitch. So come over to Twitch, come hang out and watch. I don't know what fight we're going to watch this Thursday, but we got to get you a VPN sponsor. That'll be fire, Beta. I do need one of those. Beta will let me know what we watch because he's the fight selector for the Twitch fights that we've been watching, which we've been having a lot of fun with. So guys, hit the subscribe button. If you're new, hit the bell for post notifications. Michael Mack, thank you for being here the whole time. I looked at my average view for this stream and Jesus, at like 15 minutes. That's crazy. That's like the highest it's ever been. Crazy. Facts that you guys don't care about. Just figured I'd share with you guys. Drew, have a good night. Luth, have a good night. Luth fan, I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, Ryder, thank you for hanging out for such a long time. I see you with the red glove. They did you dirty with your old account. Beta, Michael Mack, everyone else out there, much love. God bless. I'll catch you guys Thursday on Twitch, and then Saturday for UFC 281 live commentary is going to be nuts. Be here. Much love. God bless. Good night. Peace.
I'm the best ever. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Yo, bounce guy, go off.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize for absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Wilder's in a world of trouble. Closing seconds. Can he weather the storm here in the third round? Penny. Big right hook lands flush for Cambosos, and that knocks down Teofimo Lopez. We have ourselves a fight.
Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a triangle choke from up top. Gaethje's out, and the fight is over. The triangle choke for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And Porter gets knocked down. Knocked down again. 10th round TKO. Thank you for the $2, win. Left uppercut, and then knocks out Leo. It appears he's out cold. The fight is over. It was a counter left uppercut, and just like that, what a left uppercut. I did not see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I will have to admit, what a fight.
Nice celebration or a 3K video. I don't know, man. To hit 3,000 subscribers and like
right hook to the body for Campbell. Left hook to the body for Garcia, and that knocked down Campbell. It was a left hook to the
Guys, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. We're trying to do record numbers today. Ryan Garcia tearing up and crying. What a performance for Ryan Garcia.